Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rude Barn Podcast. What do I got behind me? Who's this guy?
There's a
Mhm.
scary fuck behind you, man.
This
What
guy?
do you got
Well,
going there?
I don't know, but I'd watch out for those guys right next to you, right there, because they're coming after you, brother.
Feels like they're coming on me. I got to switch it, man. It's creeping me out.
Well, they're coming after you like everybody's coming after Trump.
Oh,
God,
really?
okay,
That
so let's just go down to a list. If people don't understand how much shit this guy has gone through, should we just do a little reminder list of everything that they've been throwing at this guy? And then we'll talk about the latest barrage against him. So you remember back in like 2016, 2015, when he was running for Presidente, El Presidente. El Presidente. They talked about him on the bus with who's the ET kid? Anyway, can't remember his name.
can't remember
Not
his name.
important because he's not important. They talk about where he was locker room talk, grabbing the Chachi Arcola women.
Mm-hmm.
Just and then it was constant accuse. Oh, well, Trump molested me when I was 40 years ago, and it was constant name calling. It was constant barrage of women. Then they start saying, well, he's going to be a threat to democracy. Why would they say that? Because he's not a swamp creature?
Yeah, he's not a he wasn't in the club.
Right.
He's an outsider.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's knocking on the door. Nope, can't come in. We're doing the dishes. That's an old reference. I think if you get that, you get that. If you know, you know. So then once he got into office, then what was the next thing? It was the Mueller report with the Russia collusion. Russia was the one that was putting him. Why would Russia put Trump in the office instead of like Hillary? I mean, Hillary. He could walk all over Hillary.
Well,
Putin.
Russia could have walked all over
Oh,
Hillary.
yeah. Oh, exactly. And done what they want. That's what they're doing right now to Biden.
Right.
Um, then after Russiagate, which they tried for 4 years and did they impeach him over it, or did they realize that it wasn't that? But they tried to impeach him twice on two different things. I'm trying to remember what they are now. Please forgive me. This is right off the cuff. Then now, in the latest scheme of him rerunning for El Presidente, we had the documents case where he was keeping classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, which have you ever tried to get into Mar-a-Lago, or do you know of people it's kind of Fort Knox.
Yeah, it's kind of Fort Knox times 10.
Yeah, but he was the president, so he is allowed to have classified documents that he's maybe declassified or whatever. They came to get them in February or something like that of 2022 or 2023. Can't remember what it was. And then the raid happened in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
June, July, somewhere in there. And they were raided with the FBI. They made a big hullabaloo about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we won't go into the details. Everybody knows the deal on that.
There was planes, trains, and automobiles. Yeah.
Right. So, but he's the president. He's supposed to be able to have that. But Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Esquire Limited III had documents in broken boxes in his garage.
His garage. Yeah.
Locked garage, which, yeah, all it would take is one swift kick of your foot to knock that damn door down, dude. You're not very secure garage door in that with your Corvette in there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
please. And then he had it at the Biden Center at Penn, University of Pennsylvania, or all this shit. But Trump is the one who gave all the documents. You need any more? Then they came and raided him and said the bullshit thing, which was bullshit, by the way, in case you're wondering, that he was not trying to give the documents back. He was trying to hide them. Like, dude, you had all the access in February. You didn't take what you wanted at that point. Give me a break.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They obviously looked at it and they're like, oh, this is not really worth even us being here.
Yeah. So he's had to deal with that. And then he went to court for that. And I can't remember which court. Was that the Fannie Willis trial? That wasn't the Fannie Willis trial because that was in Georgia. What did he do there? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. But anyway, that was going on. So he had the documents case trial. He had Fannie Willis trial. Oh, do you remember some old hag author named E. Jean Carroll? who was suing him for groping her in what was it? A dressing room in a mall
Yeah,
store?
yeah. So yeah, that's what it was. It was like a
Oh, I
fucking
totally believe
dressing
that.
room. Yeah, yeah. Completely believe that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then she turned
That
out to
was
be
her.
nutso, and Anderson Cooper was interviewing her on CNN, and she starts talking, and then she starts saying, she's like, "Oh hey, Anderson." Yeah, Anderson's gay, by the way, lady.
Yeah. Right.
But she was trying to hit on him, and he's like, "Okay, easy there, you're a little loopy."
Yeah,
Okay.
you're making me feel weird here.
Oh my god. Yeah. So $83 million he was supposed to have paid her, but I think he got out of that because nothing ever happened on appeal. I mean, but on appeal, nothing happened, and that's why they appealed it and didn't have to pay it.
Right.
Then there's the big one that we talked about, the hush money trial with Letitia James, this little sweetheart, little
No.
little angel, little ray of sunshine in the life of people. Yeah. And then
Yeah, of
Alvin
a lot of
Bragg.
people.
Yeah. And then the chipmunk, Alvin Bragg, was also part of that whole thing, resurrecting this hush money thing, this clerical error, if you will, resurrecting this thing past the statute of limitations and bringing back the dead, bring back your dead, you know, and did that. So he had what, 3 trials almost at the same time or back to back to back going on after all this other stuff. And
Hmm.
then there was something else in July this year that happened. I'm trying to remember what it was. Can you possibly think of what? Oh, that's right. He almost got his head blown off.
Bye, bye.
Fine.
That was the
It
best shit
nicked
ever.
his ear, but it was staged, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, by the Republicans. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it was a blood pack on the ear that splattered. The bullet never came to it. But tell that to the cop who was, or the cop, the firefighter. What's his name? Who was killed? Just tragic. And
Yeah.
and some of these people out there are still saying it was staged. Unbelievable, right?
It's asinine.
Yeah. Uh, then we had some sort of substance at the Long Island rally a couple 3 weeks later, where people were getting sick. They thought that might have been another assassination attempt, maybe.
Yeah.
Then we had Ryan Routh, whatever, at the golf course at his
Hmm.
Trump International Golf Course in Florida. How that
Setting
happened?
up, setting up. Yeah, outside the
What?
fence. How that happens, I don't know.
How could this guy sit out there for 12 hours
I,
and nobody's done a sweep around that perimeter of the whole golf course?
well, that was the thing. Is I think that they didn't want to do a sweep. You know what I mean? I think it was a little bit of
Crazy.
an oversight from his people,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like it's that easy though.
Yeah. Right. Well, the Secret Service is supposed to be the creme de la creme of law
Hmm.
enforcement protection services, right? In addition to other stuff they do, like counterfeiting things and whatnot. But their first job is to protect the people they're supposed to protect: former presidents, senators, congresspeople, so on and so on. So why was it happening? Is it, and then the same thing with Butler? I mean, it's like, is it complete incompetence, which I highly doubt,
I
or
highly
was it
doubt
on
it.
purpose?
Yeah, it's a hey, look this way because something's going on over there,
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah, yeah. So, and then they've tried to take him off the ballot in, ballots in Colorado and Maine and other states, Maryland or something like that. Also, all these different states.
Which
Uh,
is
yeah, it's just a barrage of shit coming after him. And now the latest, you got Kamala talking about how he's just Hitler and a fascist, left and right. Hitler. She can't answer a question, and we'll briefly touch on a video in that where she at the town hall of CNN the other night.
dude,
She could
absolutely
never
insane.
answer a question. Yeah,
Absolutely insane. Well,
she's nuts, dude.
here's the thing. He's not obligated to run. He wasn't obligated to run. He wasn't I
No,
mean, he's not doing it for the money.
he's the only
Obviously.
president in history who's given his salary to charity
Right.
or somewhere. I can't
He
remember, but
doesn't
he
need the
never
money.
takes
He
the
doesn't.
salary.
He doesn't need the fame. Like if he was
Right.
fame seeking, he would have just kept doing The Apprentice. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
exactly.
okay, well, whatever. I'm going to build another building and
Yeah.
whatever. But
Right.
my thing is he cares about the country enough to keep
Go through
rolling,
all this. Yeah.
go through all this bullshit, man. That
Uh,
that
total. It's like,
no one's paying him to go, to go through.
yeah.
It's just it, and the character bashing and the unfolding and all this kind of shit is just, it's more than the average man would be able to take, or average person,
Yeah.
whether you're
Yeah.
male or female.
Yeah.
But he's doing it willingly,
Yeah.
and he's doing it. I believe he's doing it because his love for the country and him wanting to get things back to where they need to be,
For the
because it's
people.
for the people, because we all know it's a complete shit show right now.
Oh yeah.
And for him to go in there and do that and do his quote unquote civic duty, it's commendable. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah.
Arn, if you were on the campaign trail and you got shot at,
I'd be second guessing what I'm doing.
would you still be on the campaign
Just,
trail? I mean,
right.
seriously.
Maybe they don't want me to
Like,
run. Maybe
that's
that's the
not for me.
reason I
Yeah.
should be running. But yeah, maybe I'm going to put up some bulletproof glass around me, at every event at this point. And
I mean, it's insane. And
yeah,
now going back to the Hitler thing, and then their new shtick is he's mentally unstable. He's mentally unstable.
cognitive decline.
Yeah, yeah, cognitive decline. Are you kidding me? He just did 3 hours on Rogan, man. Are you what?
Dude, it's like it's a constant. If you are a Biden supporter or know people who are, and this is the way they are, the Democrats accuse Trump and the Republicans of doing everything they are doing themselves. If you
Exactly.
don't see that, you're not paying attention.
It's the gaslighting, dude. It's
Yeah,
classic gaslighting. And it's so apparent and it's so blatantly in our faces.
they're not
That's
even
what
hiding it. Yeah,
Yeah, they're not even hiding it. And that's what scares me, is that, the people that are still on their side and yeah, if they're not seeing this when it's blatantly just like slapped out on the fucking table and hit you in the face with it a couple times and then slap back on the table, if you don't see that, there's no hope for
yeah,
you and the people that are like you,
yeah.
because it's I don't know, dude. It's absolutely insane to me.
Well, and I know people, family members, friends who are just this. They have been barraged by the constant media mainstream, downplaying him, calling him Hitler, calling him a threat to democracy, this, that, and the other, and not seeing, really what he is doing. And they look at us like, how the hell could you even think that this man is even capable of being a president? And then I turn around and go, okay, well, first of all, I've had 4 years and we had the greatest economy, for a while there, and everybody was really doing well. And gas was, under $2 a gallon, and for the most part, in the $2 range, not the $3.50 range, on up to $7 in California during the first term of Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Esquire Limited III, and Kamala, where it was way up there. But
The only thing, yeah,
unbelievable.
everything was great. The only thing that I I struggled with during his presidency, but this has been for the last 20 years. I've said this for the longest time, and this is because, like, we're in the business that we're in, um, and it's really hard to find healthcare doing what we do. So as freelancers, we run our own companies, but we don't have staff underneath us, so we can't get group plans, right?
Right.
Um, So you have to find the individual plan. Now you, Barn, I don't know how it works for you, but you may get it under your wife. When I was
Oh yeah,
married, I had it under my wife, and
right,
it was good. It was it was one of the tops because she worked for a healthcare company at the time, and we had great health insurance. After we got divorced, I'm over here floating in the wind
right.
trying to find something that will work for me that isn't going to break the bank. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
right.
And, and that's kind of been my own roller coaster for, the last, 7, 8 years or whatever. But I'm not blaming Trump for it.
Right.
I'm not blaming Barack for it. Um, I,
Nor
probably
Biden even.
the best I had for for the stint that I had it was Obamacare
Yeah.
until that got thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
And then I'm forced to go look again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as far as everything was great. Our healthcare system still sucks, and that's all that we can do a whole episode on our healthcare system.
Healthcare, insurance, all that. Dealing with a car crash I just had, being rear-ended,
Oh, dude,
totaling my car, 4-car pileup. Insurance blows ass.
does
It blows ass,
dude?
and it's
I
just it's asinine what we're having to deal with this shit.
yeah,
I'm going through different things right now. I won't get into it because it's kind of ongoing. But you know, if you find out, my car was paid off, so they kind of paid enough of the value of my car. So if my car had really kind of gone down, I would have been screwed. The same model, same year, similar miles, whatever. I could have gotten screwed. I actually got a fair deal to get me back into something, which I did. But there's the medical side of it, things like that, where
yeah.
injuries pop up after.
After,
And
yeah,
yeah, so I'm having to deal with that stuff because, all that. But I asked my agent, I said, hey, so let's say I had a $40,000 car, and I had paid 20 grand on it right now, and I owed 20-ish, give or take, whatever, with interest. So I owed 20. He goes, what would they have done? He goes, yeah, they would have just paid off your car. Oh, okay. So I would have had the other 20 grand paid off. Would they have gotten me back in another car? Oh, no, 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 no.
Mm,
Would I have gotten the three or $4,000, $5,000 down payment so I can get the same car?
oh hell no.
No, but I still would have been behind. Even if they did that, I still would have behind the 20 grand I already paid over the years.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I would have had to start over again, but at least I would have made able to get into a new car. But no, that's not how it works. So I would have
It's
been effed
it's a scam.
majorly,
It's a
and I wouldn't
scam.
have even been taken to dinner and bought flowers and drinks. It's just I would have gotten straight to the swing part, and then
Mm-hmm.
that would
Then
have sucked.
and
So
they tapped
our
you on the
insurance
ass
blows.
and sent you home. Yeah,
Yeah, insurance in this country blows. They
it
don't want to
does.
pay anything, but they want all your money, and they want your premiums right away.
Mm-hmm. Or they're
You
gonna
try
drop
to
you.
get the best. Yeah, the place I've got is pretty good, but overall the industry itself needs some work, and the healthcare needs some work, without a doubt. So basically, the long drug out version of this intro is that there's been a lot that's been thrown at Trump. I mean, we're 19 minutes into this thing, and now we're finally going to get to the intro.
Yeah.
So what's next? Oh yeah, that's right. Now there's incidences being reported of voter fraud and ballot machines dominion changing votes, apparently, supposedly, allegedly. So we'll get into all that right now and talk about all that. Here we go.
Let's go.
All right, gang. So here we go. Now we've thrown a barrage of all of these things. I have my notes that I talked about that. Of
I
all of the
love it.
shit that's been thrown at Trump over the last little while. Whereas people like Joe Biden and Kamala, have been coddled,
Com- Kamila,
right?
I think.
Kamila.
Kamala. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kamala. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, don't say anything bad about Kamala. It's like, oh, really? Well, if she can't handle it, and she doesn't deserve to be a president because she's going to be in for a rude awakening on how the world works. So she better start getting this shit thrown at her. Okay. So she's now getting a little bit of backlash, a little bit of pushback, if you will, and you will, from like people like Anderson Cooper on that CNN
Dude,
town hall.
Anderson was the
And
best.
Fuego.
So far. Yeah. I haven't been the
No
hugest
fan of Trump either, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been a hugest fan of Anderson Cooper.
No.
But I have liked a few things that he's done, and I respect him.
If it had just do normal journalism.
Yeah, just normal journalism.
Yeah.
But this was probably, I think, I would say this was probably the highlight of his career, because he didn't stick to the script.
Right. He followed up properly.
He followed up, and yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah. As much as you can in the time that you're allotted, right?
Right.
What was his name that she did? What was it, 2 weeks ago? The Bear. He did well as well.
Oh yeah, Brett Bear. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, not the hugest fan of Brett Bear, but at the same time, I respect him for what he does.
Answer my question. That you didn't answer the question. You keep deflecting. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but answer.
No, not you, but he's telling her that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm telling you that. Damn it! Come on, rude. Stay on top. And I'm just kidding.
That's how he is. He's just like, well, yeah, no. That aside,
yeah.
My question was this. Yeah, well, no. That aside, my question was this. Literally, he only got through like 4 questions.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because it was word salad the whole fucking time, and he was trying to get her back to answer the goddamn question. And I like that. He didn't just say, okay, well, let's move on with our pre-planned questions. He didn't do that. And Anderson Cooper didn't do that.
Plans. And then she goes off and, well, I just think unicorns and rainbows are really the best way to make the opportunity economy work for everyone. Well, how does that work? Well, people are going to get jobs again, and we're going to provide this, that, and the other. And it's like,
build houses. Yeah.
We're going to build back better than we were before.
Are we? When your administration that you're working under right now just approved another multi-million-dollar check going overseas,
multi-million, or
when we have our own people still standing in 4 feet of mud, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. Is it multi-billion or million? I think it's multi-billion.
Yeah, billion. Did I say million? Yeah, sorry, I meant billion.
That's why I wanted to correct. Make sure we got the
but
more
God
of the correct number.
God forbid us spending billions of dollars on our own people.
Yeah, let's watch my house wash down the river and go bye-bye. And you're going to give me $750 for immediate expenses.
But I have to be approved for that, though.
Right.
I have to be approved for the 700. Did you hear that? Some people were getting denied.
Oh yeah,
750 because they didn't.
Ukraine and Gaza are not getting denied. That's really weird.
Yeah, no.
So now they have. I mean, it's like they're trying to keep everybody from voting. Well, that's just a conspiracy theory. Okay, fine. That fine. So what we're going to start showing you are some things against what's happening, and people are sitting there going, well, I think there might be some issues with the voting machines, because now we're having people complain that the voting machines are not. Where's my thing here? Here we go. The voting machines are changing my vote. Now, this is not just a Republican issue. This is an everybody issue, because if the voting machines are changing a vote for Kamala to Trump, it's just as bad as votes changing Trump to Kamala.
Right.
And I have a problem with both. I don't think it should work either way.
Yeah, we should have a problem with both.
Right.
And I mean, cheating is cheating.
Yeah.
I don't believe that these machines are doing it on their own.
No.
Either
It's got to
way,
be programmed
you
the
know what
right
I
way.
mean?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and if nothing else, do you
The,
think there's
mach-
a possibility that they can be programmed to do that?
the machine should be unbiased, right? I mean,
You would think.
yeah, it's a machine,
Right.
but
It's
yeah,
only as it's
they
only as
have
biased and everything as the programmer puts into it, right?
exactly.
So,
But they do have computers and they
oh,
can
but
be
yeah,
programmed.
yeah. Oh, really? Have you heard the Alexa thing? Why should I vote for Trump? Oh, I can't do political things. We there's a well, why should I vote for Kamala? Well, Kamala is the first woman president, blah blah blah, and it goes off. You
Yeah.
don't think that's a biased programming flaw in the system?
Oh, it was an error. It was
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, we were working to fix it. When 2030? Shit, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just asinine. All right. So anyway, here's crazy Marjorie Taylor Greene, who we said before, she's crazy, but you know what? She's really working for the people. I swear. And if you don't believe it, fine. That's fine. Comment below. Let us know what you think of this. But she's just saying different things like this happened in Whitfield County in my district in Georgia 14. We vote on Dominion voting machines. Okay, why Dominion? Because there's so much issue back in 2020. Why these machines still exist in our
Yeah.
voting system, I have no idea.
Why they're still in circulation is
But
beyond me.
but some people, as long as it's for voting for their side of the aisle, their team, they're fine with it. But
I read a story where they said they went in, they wiped all the boards, and they reprogrammed them, and they're all good now.
I bet they
And
did.
that yeah, we're good now. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they did reprogram those
Yeah.
bad boys. You know. So we voted vote machine Dominion voting machines, and then it prints a paper ballot with our selections made on the machines. Okay.
Okay.
This voter's printed ballot had been changed from their selections made on that said machine. Good thing they checked their paper ballot before they turned it in, because after several attempts of trying to change it and redirect their correct votes, they had to void the ballot and use a different machine. How about they just use paper at that point? Just fill it in like we do, with our mail-in ballots, which we actually, request, and it's not just sent out randomly, willy-nilly. It's like we actually requested that.
Mm-hmm.
So please double check. So it's like FYI to all my voting friends and family. A friend of mine in Whitfield County yesterday checked his selections, and then printed the checked and printed it, checked the printed version. It was not the same. So basically, they voted for one candidate and went to the. I don't know which one it was. I'm assuming it's one thing and not the other. But that's what happened. And so, all right. So there's an issue. So there's questions. Questions are popping up that there's an issue going on. And if it happened with one person, do you think it might have happened with another
That didn't check their
that
paper
didn't check? Do you think there might
printout.
be?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't check the printout. Unbelievable. Okay, so here is another one we're going to show here. This one here, perfect. Okay, so this one is, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Laura, we have reports of Marjorie Taylor Greene votes flipping from Trump to Harris in Georgia. I read it where there's an appeal by Republicans over the Fulton County judge that ruled against hand counts. Why would a judge rule against hand counts? Why would that be? He doesn't
Seems
think that
odd.
they're accurate, or he's hiding something, or he's allowing the possibility for things
Error.
to.
Yeah. He's allowing the possibility for error,
Right. Yeah.
which puts him in collusion. And fuck
What
that guy.
else could it be?
What
It's
else could
it's
it be?
yeah, it's like the Democrats, and it's only the Democrats, as far as I know, maybe a few, fringe Republicans who don't want voter ID so that people can prove that they're a US citizen so that they can vote. Why would you not have why would you not have to show your ID? Is it racist? Well, that's just got to be the stupidest fucking answer I've ever heard in my entire
Well, like I
life.
said, I can't go and buy a pack of smokes without having to show my ID.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest responsibilities that I'm given in my land,
Is it ability to vote?
ability to vote, and I don't have to show my ID. Okay, cool.
Because the people they're saying that this is disenfranchising, they're really insulting. They're insulting these people. You are too stupid to be able to get an ID, let alone a driver's license. As a citizen of this country, you're too stupid. Who are they
It's
saying are too stupid?
it's the whole gaslighting thing again, Barn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, I know. No, it's absolutely asinine. So, I mean, this shit just goes on and on and on. I mean, it's just, I'll just bring up more issues here. See, that's Joe Rogan. We don't need that right now. Okay, so this one. Okay, so now this Verify company. I've never heard of them before, but they have a video out talking about how the voting machines are not throwing out votes for Trump. So let's just see what this little gal has to say. Real quick.
Lawsuits filed by the president's legal teams are being defeated across the country. President Trump says that he's not giving up on the White House just yet. The commander in chief is convinced that fraud played a role in the electing of Joe Biden. In a tweet over the weekend, the president said that Joe Biden isn't the real winner and that the election was rigged. So we're bringing in the Verify team to clear up some of the confusion about the votes. Team 12's Jason Puckett looks into a new claim that some of the votes.
Okay, so that was back in 2020 when they were even talking about that, and then and it's still, this could be a story today.
Oh yeah,
still, because we haven't fixed the problem.
We haven't fixed the problem, and that's that. It just goes to show why are Dominions still in use, and why are paper ballots being denied, and why are judges, denouncing a hand count. That's right. I mean, it seems a little off.
Well, and then also remember the lawsuit going on in Virginia with Youngkin trying to eliminate, people who are not citizens to get them off the voter rolls, and dead people and other things like that. I think there's one that might show here, Governor Abbott in Texas saying there are 1 million people that they are trying to purge off the voter rolls who are either dead, deceased, because that's a completely different thing, be dead or deceased, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. Two different things. Yeah. Two different things.
Two completely different things. Yeah, or people who are non-citizens or criminals who shouldn't be voting. And I'm sorry, if you've committed a crime, you lose your privilege to vote. Don't commit a crime then.
Yeah. Don't be a felon. Don't commit crimes, and then you can still have your vote. But if you do, you lose your vote, pal. I'm sorry.
So why do the Democrats want to give them the ability to vote then? Why did the Democrats seem to want to always give driver's licenses to illegals in the guise that it's, well, in case they're in an auto accident, you need to be able to, this, that, and the other, whatever, or get their benefits from the government. Or, okay, well, first of all, if they're illegal, they shouldn't be getting any benefits anyway. They're not allowed to. They shouldn't be allowed to get benefits that we're paying for. But if you have a driver's license, that's ID. And now they're contradicted themselves because they're giving driver's licenses to say, okay, now we don't need to worry about whether you have ID or not, but we'll say, yeah, you need ID. All right, fine. Then we'll just give it to the people that shouldn't have it so they can vote anyway.
But at the same time, the ID doesn't make you a citizen. That's what they're trying to, that jump around. You know what I mean? Right. ID doesn't make you a citizen.
No.
ID means that you can get a job, or you can drive, or whatever the fuck, or you can buy beer or whatever. But an ID doesn't make you a citizen, and an ID does not. It should not.
No.
Afford you, that right to vote, because you're not a fucking citizen.
We have work visas that get around that whole thing where, come over, you can work, you have your work visa. It limits your time here, supposedly.
Mhm.
and all of that. So why do we need to give full-fledged driver's licenses to people, which a lot of these people don't understand what you just said? It doesn't make you a citizen, but they don't care. Oh, you have a driver's license. My assumption is, and you know what happens when you assume,
Yeah. You make an ass out
that they're a citizen and that they can
of you
vote.
and option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a bunch of bullshit going on. If nothing else, if this were flipped around and all this was going against Harris, okay, and you people on the Democrat side of politics would be up in arms. You would be like, something's going on. There's fraud. There's this, that, and the other. Brother. Oh, wait. Oops, that's the wrong person. But you know what I'm saying? But they'd be up in arms, right? Be like, holy shit, wait a minute. Something's not right. You're trying to steal the election. Well, that goes this way too.
Yeah, they'd be screaming. They'd be
Yeah.
screaming on all outlets. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So there's shit going on.
But it doesn't. But it never happens that way. You
Well, of
know?
course not.
You
Of
think?
course not. It's always the
Why not?
Republicans who are bad and
Because
the
we're not
Democrats are
fucking
angels.
cheaters. They're cheaters.
But the Democrats don't do anything wrong.
No, they've never done anything wrong. Yeah.
How dare you call them cheaters? The Democrats don't do anything wrong. We all know this, right? So, but anyway, it's not just an isolated incident. There's several. Here's another report out of Transylvania. Several posts about ballots being changed. People are checking into this. Also in Georgia, someone who's posting live counts showing 15,000 drop in votes. Okay, what? Okay, see what I mean? I mean, there's just now you can believe these stories or not. Oh, well, that's just a post on X. Okay, well, you know what? There's a lot of people that are posting shit on X because they're not getting the proper information from the mainstream media.
Well, that's the thing. I nowadays, I don't know about you, Barn, but nowadays I am more inclined to believe the people, the actual people,
Yeah,
that are reporting these things on X, on Twitter, on the on the TikToks, on the IGs. You know what I mean?
the TikTokers and the snappy chatties.
Yeah, and because these are the people
Right.
that this stuff happened to.
Right.
And
Concerned citizens.
concerned
Most likely.
citizens. Yes.
I'm sure there's some that are out there lying their asses off as well, but we're not and assuming that everybody who posts is legit and truth. We're saying a lot of these things are correct, that a lot of these people are putting out the truth of at least what they're experiencing.
Right. And when I see these things, I'm one of those. I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart, Barn. So
That's why
I'll
we're
go.
doing this.
I'll DM them and say, hey, tell me more about this. Tell me what happened.
Yeah.
Because I tell them like, hey, I I do a few podcasts and I would like to share your story. And I have to legitimize it before I do that.
Right.
And
Because we want to eliminate
I would say we're literally at 80-20 right now. You know what I mean? On the stories where I get back to people and say, hey, tell me more about this, legitimize this. Let me hear your voice.
Yeah.
Let me hear the pang in your voice. And that's gonna, number one, kind of legitimize it for me. But that's the thing. I'm not gonna just listen to a news story on CNN
All right.
or Fox or whatever.
Yeah.
This is happening here and this is happening here, and where it's almost impossible to legitimize. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about these non-stream media outlets like we're doing, where you get to actually engage with people,
Right.
and talk about their stories, talk about what's going on, and because you can't. I mean, something comes on the news, a news story comes on. How are you going to legitimize that?
Right.
How are you going to call? Are you, these people are already getting bombarded. So, okay, are we going to do this? Are we going to, we're going to call them liars right off the bat?
Right.
No, but we're going to do what we have to do to check it.
There's a level of trust that I think we all are losing day by day and on
Right.
these whole things. And it's
You
sad because we just sent in our ballots. Excuse me. And I don't know, are they going to actually count my vote the way I put it, or are they going to switch it for their agenda?
Well,
Whoever's counting it.
thought had been, for the longest time, I had been, I'm an independent guy, so I vote on the issues that I think that are important to me, whether they be on the red side or blue side, didn't matter. But nowadays, my vote's pushing toward the red more and more and more. However, when I was a younger man, my vote would push toward the blue a little bit. But the thing was we're in a red state, so I really didn't think whatever, unless it was local, my vote really didn't fucking matter. Like on
Right.
these, like on the big dogs, because we're in a red state, and my vote's going to be
Chances are
red no
everything's
matter what, right?
right.
And so I didn't vote on the big ones. I voted on the small ones. I voted on local, but then after a while, those motherfuckers started, they'd flip flop. Like they say they were going to do this, and they say they were going to do that. They said they were about this, and then we get them into office, and then they do the complete opposite.
Right.
And you're right, and you hit it right. You hit the nail on the head when you said there's a level of trust that has been lost with people like this and candidates like this and people that get into office. Is like they'll tell you whatever they have to tell you to get your vote, and then they're going to go in there and just run their own agenda, whether it be what you voted for or not. Doesn't matter. They wanted to get in there for a reason. Now they're going to do what they're going to do, and it sucks.
Right.
It sucks so bad because you
Yeah.
lose that.
Sucks ass. Yeah.
Yeah, you lose that trust in the people that you put into office to represent you and to protect you.
Represent
And then they
themselves.
don't, and then they don't do that time and time and time and time and time again. And then
yet we still vote for these people.
Yeah, but how can't you lose trust in it, Barn?
Right.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
Like I've lost trust in our government a long time ago.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And how do you get that back?
Yeah.
You get it back with a man that has been an outsider
Who has proven that he's really working more for the people than anybody else. Now, were there a lot of stuff that he did do?
Gets shot and does the fight thing. You know what I mean? And that's how you get trust back. In my book, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to be there. He's not a career politician. No. He hasn't been in this game for 50 fucking years. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He probably hates the government just as much as we do, Barn.
Yeah. You don't think that these people like the Pelosi's and the Schumers and the Bidens of the world and the McConnells and the Mitt Romneys of the world, they haven't figured out how to manipulate the system, to work the system, to be insider traders, to make millions of dollars off of stock trades because of the the bills that they pass or policies that they're making.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean it's absolutely asinine. And is Trump perfect? Absolutely not. Do I agree with everything he does? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But he has proven a hell of a lot more so than the 4 years that Kamala has been in office that he's really more for the people, bringing jobs back, telling companies like Apple Computer, for example, I'm going to throw a tariff on you unless you bring your manufacturing back to the U.S. to create jobs for Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't compete if you put that. Bring your manufacturing back to the U.S. and you don't have to worry about it, right?
You don't have to compete. Yeah.
Yeah, he negotiates with the oil companies. He negotiates with the Putins of the world. No new wars were ever started under Trump. But we have 2 to 3, and a possible 4th one with Taiwan and China on the doorstep of World War III with these clowns. The adults are in the room again. Well, the adults have fucked things up so badly. We're on the brink of a huge possibility of war, and Putin taking more of eastern Ukraine, because apparently there's a lot of cool shit under the ground there that he wants, and he doesn't care
Well, the
about the
thing
western
is too
Ukraine.
is while the parents are away, the kids will play.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm talking about Trump when he was in. No one was fucking around.
No.
He was going in. He was showing face. He's like, "Hey, we're not doing this bullshit. We're not doing it.
He was the
We're not doing it."
badass dad who didn't take shit from his kids and said, "You know what? Suck it up, Buttercup. This is the way
Exactly.
shit goes." Oh, that's a
Exactly.
mean tweet. Too
Yeah.
fucking bad. Grow
Yeah.
the fuck up. Grow a
You know
pair.
what? You're not getting your fucking allowance
Right.
unless you do your work.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then
So-
with these fucking clowns for the last 4 years,
Oh,
they
yeah.
just, yeah, they were
And they wanna-
non-existent. So
and they
what
want
happens?
to retain power. So they want to retain power so they can continue doing everything that they're doing, whether you like it or not. And I don't like a lot of it. Open borders. What are they trying to increase taxes with her tax plan? It's horrible. He wants to raise another 450 billion dollars a year for the next 10 years by raising taxes, corporate taxes, state taxes, you name it. We went through that, I think, before.
And
On her tax
we're
plan.
gonna build houses for it. Yeah.
Oh,
Meanwhile-
we're gonna give it. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we don't have enough money in the coffers to
Right.
shove some over to FEMA so they can get our own people in
Taken care of.
Florida, Georgia, and in the states that were hit hard, taken care
Yeah.
of. You know,
Yeah.
get out of town.
Kamala wants to give people a $50,000 tax credit for opening a business. Well, sorry there, sister. That sounds wonderful, but you know what? You got to come up with that 50 grand yourself to begin with. So that's not a help.
It's not a help.
And if you get $25,000 for a house, they're just going to raise the house price $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 more.
That's the thing, dude. It's word salad, and people don't look into the depths of what that statement means.
Yeah.
And the trickle down of what that actually is going to do and to fuck up our economy even more.
Yeah.
$50,000 tax credit. Okay, cool. For my business, I start a new business. I get $50,000 tax credit. So, okay.
But I got to spend more than $50,000 that I probably don't have to begin with.
Exactly. Because I'm still going to have to pay business taxes. I'm still going to have to pay taxes on my employees, and I'm still going to have to pay their health care. So, okay, you're going to give me a break for
what?
Maybe 2 years. That's if I make it. That's if I profit.
Right.
$25K a year on my brand new business.
Which normal new businesses don't start to profit for several years.
For 10 years at least.
Yeah.
You're paying back investors. You're paying your employees. Dude, sorry to call out the Bearded Viking, but I love the Bearded Viking. We're doing great things. And beardedviking.com, go get some booze. Please get some booze.
Yeah. It's good shit, guys. Do it.
But at the same time, we're 5 years in almost, and all of us owners, we have not made a dime.
Right.
Not a dime.
What you mean? You didn't get that $50,000? Oh wait, that's not.
Oh, that was before her time. Well, that's the whole thing. Is like, I mean,
Right.
we've been in business for 5 years,
Yeah.
so we don't get the tax credit.
Right.
But at the same time, we haven't made a dime. Our booze is great. Everything's fine. Everything's taken care of and getting paid for. However, everything's getting paid for. We're not. We have we're cash poor. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
We're operating our business, and that's what it takes for a new business to run.
Really weird. Yeah.
You have to, you know,
But
you have to
you know
create your
what?
product. You
Spit
have
in
to
my face and tell me it's raining. And that's exactly what they're doing right now.
thank
You know,
you.
it's a bunch of bullshit. So what we're trying to say is Kamala does not have any solid plan, policies, or anything to take this country back to where it needs to be.
There's nothing.
Which is the whole MAGA movement, make America great again. Sorry, oh, that's so MAGA. Okay, stop. The whole thing is true. It's not like the Inflation Reduction Act, which doesn't actually reduce inflation. The Make America Great Again is not that we're such a great country we can rule the world and we can take over everybody and do everything we already are doing and shit like that. That's not what it means. It means give the people the opportunity to grow a business, to live a life, to have the freedoms that they want, to be able to protect themselves and their families, to live the life that is the reason people are still coming here legitimately, who want to really truly be part of this wonderful country. I love this country. I don't like the leadership we have a lot of times, but I love the country no matter what. I will proudly fly my flag. Our kids today have been so brainwashed and indoctrinated into the fact that, oh, America bad, the flag bad, and oh, don't show that. That's an embarrassment. Like, oh my God, we need to stop this shit. We're hemorrhaging our patriotic duties, our patriotic lifestyle, and what we plan on being. And this is why voting is so important, so we can get somebody like a Trump back in who is not beholden to the deep state, who can't be bought out, can't be blackmailed. They're trying to kill the guy. They're trying to take him off the ballot. They're trying lawfare to put him in jail, in prison, so he can't run.
Yeah, and
That tells me I want that guy in office.
exactly, right? Exactly. Is they're trying so hard to kill him, then he's got my vote. Like, if they were trying,
because I've seen what he's done before, by the way.
Yeah. If Kamala was as legit as she wants to have the people know she is, then she would have got shot out like 3 times.
Right.
And she'd probably, she'd be on my radar as far as, damn, man, like she's that legit that that they're trying to offer.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's don't want a woman. You just don't want a woman in the presidency, Rude.
Oh man.
You just don't want a black woman. Ain't black, by the way. I don't even think she has a bit of black in her.
Dude, have you seen Candace Owens?
Yeah.
Dude, Candace Owens went on a deep dive. I don't really I don't think that she needed to go that deep on this deep dive, but she did. And it was on her own accord, right?
Oh yeah.
And God bless Candace Owens. I love Candace Owens.
Oh, I do too.
And she's straight up, no bullshit. I'm
straight
here.
Shooter.
I'm asking this. I would like to see an interview Candace Owens and Kamala and see what's going on. You know what I mean? It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But she did this deep dive on her own accord about her family and her history and the grandma and the next door neighbor and all this fucking shit, dude. It's hilarious. If you get a chance, gang, check it out. It's Candace Owens. You can find her on all the socials and the YouTubes and all that. But check it out.
I've got some links.
Fun stuff.
I've got the links to all of her episodes, and I wanted to do a quick podcast on that, but then leave all the links. Like we'll highlight a couple things here and there in each episode or whatever. But here's the full link. Watch. They're only about 45 minutes long or something like that. But man, when she gets into it, it's interesting. Now, why is Candace worrying so much about her race and all that? Because Kamala brought it up herself, and she's been using it to her benefit, kind of like Pocahontas has.
She's not only in this campaign, she was trying to use it years ago.
Yeah.
I just watched the latest Candace Owens cast, and I didn't know this because, you know, I'm not a Kamala fan.
Oh, no,
but I probably should have done my own deep dive on this. But at the same time, what was she running for? Oh, it was fucking her job in California. What
AG?
Yeah.
Attorney General
think
of California.
Yeah, when she was,
or the DA, was one of the two.
No, it was AG. She was it was when she was running for that. She did this whole thing that us as black people or us as African Americans, that's what it was. Us as African Americans, and really,
she
and
uses
then
it.
Yeah, and then we've seen it's hilarious, and I wish you had a montage of how many times she's changed her accent.
Yeah, we can certainly get that. We can find that.
Yeah, to pander to whoever, you know,
whatever
ethnic group that she's talking to.
I used to make collard greens in the bathtub. That's how many collard greens I had to make. I'm sorry, where'd that accent come from? You were born in Berkeley, California, for hell's sake. Friggin' culturally appropriating.
Oh my God, dude, it's insane.
No, she's insane, dude. So this is why it's important, because for all of Trump's flaws, and there's many, you have to look at Kamala's. I don't think a lot of the people who are voting for Kamala are realizing or care about this, but they sure care about Trump's flaws.
Well, because that's the only thing that they have to stand on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but they're made up flaws, a lot of them. I mean, yes, he has his flaws, and we're not going to deny that. You know what I mean? He's done some bad stuff, and he's made some bad decisions at times. However,
but who hasn't really? I mean,
yeah, but when it comes to the country, he's 8 out of 10, bro. You know what I mean? And that's what matters to me. Character is character. Like I said, I used to vote blue when I was a younger man. And I wasn't.
That is kind of funny, but I totally get
it. But at the same time, I wasn't voting on their character.
No, I was voting for their policies and what they
look at
do
Wild
for
Bill,
us.
bro. I voted for Wild Bill.
Yeah.
I loved him, dude. He was shooting from the hip. Yeah. But I liked what he was talking about for what I was concerned about at the time.
Right.
And I thought he could do some good things. And he did do good things. He did good things for the economy. He did good things for small business. He did good things for ethnic groups. But I mean, he got BJs in the Oval. I mean, who wouldn't? Bro, if I got in there, vote me in, bro. First thing I'm doing is getting a BJ in the Oval.
Well,
come on.
This is the hypocrisy of the people on the left, on the Democrat side, is they forget that, and oh, well, Trump got, this, that, and groping, and it's called it, grab their pussies and whatever else and all this shit that they, but they forget about what Clinton did.
Right.
And we all overlooked that because overall, I think, he was a horn dog. He went to Epstein Island, I don't know, 26 times or some shit like that. And, I mean, whatever.
Nah, it's
whatever.
It's Bill, bro.
It's just Bill. It's just Billy. He's just Billy being Billy.
Now Bill's gonna be,
Bill's gonna be Bill. Yeah.
Like I said, dude, he's a wild Bill.
Yeah.
I love that about him, just because he was fucking crazy and he didn't care.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, he was very unethical as far as as far as the
And his
textbooks
wife is
go.
even worse. Oh my god. Anyway, we won't
Well,
get into
that
that.
was the problem. I mean,
No
I
wonder
think
he did things in the White House. Look at who he was married
right.
to.
Well,
Shit.
the thing is I think she had the agenda, and she
Yeah.
pushed him and pushed him and pushed him and pushed him, and he was in the right places at the right times, and
Yeah.
he got the vote. But I obviously she was pulling the strings. Obviously, she's pulling the strings now,
She's Jill
along with
Biden 1.0, and Jill Biden is Jill Biden 2.0.
along with her and Barack and and Michael.
Yeah.
They all have scuff in the game. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. So going back to this real quick, because we love going off on a tangent, which everybody, I hope we're at least entertaining you with a
And
little bit of it.
that's why you love us, right?
Yeah, I hope that's why you love us. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe in the comment section about what you do like and don't
And
like
if you
about what we're doing.
yeah, and if you disagree with us, put it in the comments. Let's talk
Please,
about it.
yeah,
You know,
let's chit chat about it. That'd be great.
we love having conversations, and
Yeah,
we're not always right. We're not.
yeah.
And we're
So the
not saying
question,
we're right.
right? We're not saying you're right. We're not saying you're wrong. But the questions are, are are the Democrats trying to alter the results? There are questions. Sorry, people who you think there was absolutely no evidence of anything happening in 2020. There is actually quite a lot. Believe it or not, you can sit there and disagree. Again, throw a like or comment in the comment section about how you disagree with that. But why, if there
Why
are
are we
problems, yeah,
using
and
this?
we're gonna have a little evidence in here stating how easy it is to hack these voting machines. By the way, so if you don't think there's a possibility of something bad happening, again, you're not paying attention. So this person asked, why are we still using voting machines? Look how easily the ballots are manipulated. So let's just watch this.
I want to go and
See if I can.
I think I want to vote for Jason Shaw. They didn't vote that ballot a while ago. There wasn't nothing there. I think we need to vote for him. And I'm going to complete it.
Oops, sorry. Went back. Let's try this again.
Need to vote for him. And I'm going to complete it. Confirm ballot, save, move to next ballot. Okay. So it pulls up the next ballot that needs to be adjudicated.
So you made a vote for someone where someone did not vote.
I did, didn't I?
And you're the election supervisor?
I'm the election supervisor. I am the person that sits and does the adjudication. Yes, sir.
Go back to the Trump and Biden race and decide, since both are marked, you just count one of them and not count the other. Can you
These guys sound like they're from New York.
Sure can. I think I want to vote for Biden. Let's let Biden win this one.
It's got to be Arkansas, right?
So you.
But I decided
Georgia,
this.
Arkansas, Alabama.
This Al, he don't deserve no votes. Let's not let nobody vote for that.
No.
Let's not let
And
nobody.
complete. Okay.
Double negative.
Well, here's another one. I don't think any votes need to vote on this ballot. I think this really needs to be just a blank ballot.
This will be interesting to see how this ends up.
Oh, yeah.
Complete.
Let's see how this printed out.
Christy, can you scan a ballot more than once?
I've just done it.
I'm talking about you just keep scanning them if you want.
I just kept scanning that same.
You just keep sending.
I just scanned the same batches that y'all just voted. I never got any more until about one. So see, as I have it right now, I have it to do ambiguous.
Yeah. Interesting, right? She's the voting, the election supervisor person, right?
Yeah, she had supervisor.
And she goes through this whole thing and showing them IRL, real time, that this is in real life, I should say, whatever, that this is happening, and that what she put in, she didn't even vote for anybody, maybe one person on that one, and it printed out a bunch of votes that automatically came through.
Yeah.
If you didn't see that. Very, very interesting, as they used to say. So here is a gentleman saying how hackers can target voting machines. So if you don't think that hackers and other people programming this can get into voting machines, pay attention.
DEF CON is an annual hacker conference. And in my world, conferences tend to be these sort of big sponsored events with elaborate advertisements everywhere. But DEF CON is very unique in that everybody who attends, including press, pays $300 cash to attend. There are no sponsors. It is a fiercely independent spirit on display there.
Which is cool. I like that.
It had set off when we arrived a sort of paranoia in Las Vegas. You know, the word hacker has these dark connotations. And so people were going to elaborate lengths to try to protect themselves from hackers. Everything from cab drivers to the wait staff at a restaurant we ate at were saying that they were turning their phones off when they got in the vicinity of these people. When we got there, we were in fact made to feel pretty welcome. And it turns out that the people in attendance are not the loners, you know, working on behalf of the Russian government. At least none that we saw. People, the tradition there is people coming in who are either employed by big companies helping them to imagine the worst case scenarios that hackers might perpetrate on them, or just independent spirits who do that kind of thing for intellectual curiosity or other motivations. We were there specifically to attend something called the Voting Village, which is something that's
This is
gone on
where
for
it
3
starts
years.
getting good.
And this, its third year, they had assembled some of the most common voting machines in the country, both systems that are on the front end that you and I use to actually register our vote, and the back end, tabulators and so forth, that you would feed a paper ballot into or that oversee a system. What was so interesting was I assumed coming into it that the big manufacturers, companies like ES&S and Dominion, had provided these machines to the hackers to, you know, field test them. But no, it turns out there's an extremely hostile relationship there, and that ES&S and Dominion and other companies have basically said, we don't want to participate, and really have been quite aggressive in saying we don't want to be part of this. So the organizers were reduced to finding these machines on eBay, which right there is pretty terrifying, because it turns out that anybody can buy some of the most common machines in
And
use
learn how to hack
on
what
eBay.
you're
What was
saying?
really alarming was when you see these hackers, and these are people who've never seen these machines before, have had no practice on them for the most part, come in and engage them, they immediately get into the guts of them. Beyond that, we were seeing Dominion's image cast system. It's a line of tabulators that paper ballots are fed into. That had its guts all over the room. It was not clear to us whether this was the most recent version of the image cast hardware, but it's important to note that Georgia just spent over 100, or is about to spend over $100 million on a contract with Dominion to provide image cast hardware to the state in time for the for the next primaries and for the 2020 election. And yet here these kids were who had opened it up. They said, look, you can pop the front off of it, and here's a port you can get into right here. That's easy. You know, all kinds of stuff that you.
Okay, I was just stop it there because I think you kind of get the idea how easy it is for these machines to be hacked. I mean,
How old is that video from that hacker conference?
let's see. That was 5 years ago. They were doing this shit,
Okay, so 5 years ago,
and probably a
That's-
lot before that too. But this video was 5 years ago.
but why? My thought is it's weird to me that those machines look like they're. I mean, we worked in the ad industry. We worked with printers. I worked in the printing industry before I got, my job as a graphic designer. Those machines look fucking ancient.
I know.
Like they look like they're out of the
1990s.
mid 90s, bro.
Yeah.
Why are those machines still in circulation?
Right, because didn't he say these were machines that they were able to buy off of eBay, but they're ones that are
Yes.
still being used? Did he not say
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Ye-
That's so weird to me, dude. But
Yeah.
like, and here's another thought, Barn. Our technology has advanced so much.
Right.
I would say even in the last, so, we've been doing this thing for what 20, 25 years, maybe 30 years, right?
Yeah, give or
We've
take.
been in the industry of using computers to get our jobs done.
Right.
And just in a jump in 20 years has been amazing. It's
yeah.
been nuts. And with the, you know, the devices and all that kind of stuff. Remember when
Processing
we
speeds and
yeah, remember when we had to use when we were using floppy disks,
oh yeah,
and then it went to you know, our flash drives.
yeah,
Those were great. And then it went to our USB drives.
yeah.
And then we could have, you know, like side drives that were like,
Yeah.
you remember when you had to
External
have
hard drives.
yeah, your external hard drive, when your external hard drive was like a gig, that thing was a brick.
Oh yeah, it was huge.
Now you can get a gig on a thumb drive.
Well, you can
So
get a terabyte thumb drive.
right. And
Yeah.
now
Well, you get two, you get four even.
That's how far our technology has advanced in the last 20 years, even 10 years, Barn.
And we
And
can't fix our damn voting machines.
the voting machines still look like they're out of 1963. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, man.
No, oh yeah, no, it's just it's absolute
For
insanity.
one of the biggest decisions in the land.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Come on.
This obviously somebody wants this to happen. So that's why they keep this shit. That's why they don't. They've had like Georgia, the election with the machines. They've had 4 years to do something about it. They didn't do shit. And that's not just Georgia. That's other states been the same. Your voting machines. There's been potential problems of hacking, nefarious action possibly going on, downloading. The machines are not working properly. Well, let's just keep those and let's just not do anything about it. Nobody will remember. Oh, we're having the same issue again this year. Give me a break. So, Patrick Bet David podcast had this gentleman on who talks. What's that?
I said PBD.
PBD.
Yeah.
And he has this hacker on. He's got a heavy accent, but he knows what he's talking about. And
There's a lot of people that are worried, what the hell is going on here? Because it just doesn't make sense. Is my vote going to count? Can you come back and manipulate it? People don't have a lot of trust in the system today. What is your level of faith in the accuracy of the machines that we currently use?
Every single independent study where we have had access to voting machines, 100% of the voting machines have been hacked. Unhackable doesn't exist. Instead of saying trust but verify, you should have a zero trust approach. Never trust and always verify.
Hackers can manipulate the system this dramatically?
Once you gain access to the system, you can change anything as you want.
They can fix it if they really want to, but you're saying every machine has the same vulnerabilities of how to get into it. You think that's accidental?
There has to be a political will to create those standards to be mandatory and enforced. This is not a technological problem. This is a regulation and legal problem. What we need is transparency.
We don't have it though.
Well, we do actually.
How do we have that? You just said at the beginning of the podcast that, hey, never trust.
Correct.
Always verify. And
Yes.
then now you're saying we have to trust because it's bad for democracy. You just validated millions of people's concerns. I'm walking away with enough stories to tell for the next month.
I mean, that should get you interested. I will provide the link to the full podcast on here so you can listen to this guy because he's got a lot of cool information that you probably should know. And if nothing else, realize there is a major possibility of this happening. And if it can happen to Trump, it can happen to Harris. If it can happen to Harris, it can happen to Trump. So it doesn't matter. We need to lock this shit down and get our voting and our election system back where it's safe and secure and trusted again.
Well, like you're saying, I mean, it's so disheartening, you know, sometimes knowing that there's this kind of stuff going on, and the trust in the government has been lost because they've lied to us so many times. But at the same time, I really think that the majority rules, and you have to stand up. You have to get to the booth. You have to do your votes. Do your due diligence.
Yep.
Check your ballot. You know what I mean? Once it's printed out, if it's fucked up, go back, vote it out, go back, do it. Be aware of these things.
Oh yeah.
Like we say, look at Barnes' shirt, everybody.
Yeah. Let's see.
Question everything.
Question everything.
And that's our creed. That's our alma mater.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's not just question what you hear on TV. It's not just question what you hear in the media. It's question everything. When you're at the booth, take that second look. Do the double take. Do the double check.
Do the discount double check even.
Because the thing is if you don't, it's going to come back and bite us all in the ass.
Yeah. And here's part of the problem, though, is we just showed you the PBD podcast. Okay, so he's giving information one way, but we're getting barraged with information like this. False claims about machines switching votes are going viral. Here's what to know. And so this is from CBS News. Oddly enough, mainstream media, Democrat run, Democrat funded, Soros funded. They all are. Even Fox. That's right. As early voting opened, Texas on October 21st, viral claims spread online alleging the ballot machines in Tarrant County, home of Fort Worth, is one of the most populous counties, were switching votes. They were switching votes. Okay. Election officials dispute the viral claims. Shocker. Oh, no, we're not. It's like, okay, Fox guarding the hen house thing again. Little DEXTER. Claims about voting being switched and flipped have been around since at least 2004. And so you're just getting this. No, it's not right. Election security and voting machines. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get people like, no, it's not happening. So when you read CBS News, you're like, but that's not true because CBS News told me that it's not happening. There's no false claim. Well, that's the problem, is that most of us are getting that information, and it's just we believe it, or you people believe it, but you don't see the other side of the argument.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The sheep believe it.
Yeah.
And they don't do their due diligence. They don't fact check, and they don't believe the actual people, what they're saying.
Yeah. As you comment on this as well, I'm just going to kind of go through this and show, Dominion election officials refute claims that Georgia machines are flipping votes. Fact check. Every time I see fact check, I want to just hurl and go fact check by Dexter himself doing his own investigation on the murder he just committed. The voting machines in Georgia are changing people's votes. The claim, and then Georgia officials say it's due to error. No, it's not happening. We're just getting gaslit left and right. So and that's why we want to show this information. Get the information, what's going on here. Get other information that refutes it, because when all of the mainstream media are saying the same thing, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, even Fox usually the outlier. They usually don't say the same thing. So you have to wonder, well, why are they not?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you need to look at what is Fox reporting on. Does it make sense? What are all the other ones reporting on? And does that make sense? And if it doesn't, then look for other sources. Even NPR right here, is talking about
NPR, dude. I used to be a hardcore supporter. I even had I was given the money, right?
Yeah.
I was a subscriber. Like I was giving them I was giving them the $10 a month or whatever. You know what I mean? But goddamn, man, they have gone so leftist liberal that I just can't stand it anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's it's like,
and if they would have went far, like the farthest right, I would have been like, this is too much, guys. I can't do it anymore.
Right.
Because I like
be neutral, unbiased.
Yeah, you're kind of libertarian. I am too. Like we're right there in the middle. We just want the best for us, and we want the best for everybody. And the people in our circles and our families and our future, right?
And we don't want to be controlled by people in government who think they know better how to run our lives than we do ourselves.
Right. I don't want the government coming into my living room every night to tell me what I can and can't do.
Right.
And the thing is too is just about this, about this mainstream media. Like I said before, I think it's a good thing that there are outlets like this now. And what bums me out is that, like, I'm a huge Fox 13 guy, right? In the morning, that's where I get like my morning news and my weather and yada yada yada.
Right.
But now I'm seeing even on that, you know what I mean? They're touting Kamala, and they're
why?
The narrative.
They're paid to. That's why.
Yes, exactly. The narrative around her, like her town halls or whatever, and all that. They're like, oh, look, and Kami did this, and Kami did that, and Kami did this, and Kami did that, and then there's like a 10-second clip of Trump. Oh, well, Trump was in Georgia. Yeah, and then they take the worst clip. This is like, Kami's a commie. You know what I mean? Because he's that way. I mean, I'm not gonna say he didn't say it, because he fucking said it.
You either love it when he does it or you hate it.
But at the same time, like that's the only clip they have, and it's like, oh, here's Trump damning the Democratic Party again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
defaming them, calling them all sorts of names.
Of
course, he's called Hitler all the time, but whatever.
And it's sad because it's like, okay, well, I know the truth. I'm in the circles that I'm in. We know, but even like my morning news, really, my morning news, like I just want to have
the red state of Utah.
Yeah, and we are in a red state of Utah.
I mean, what?
And we're still getting this feed. You know what I mean?
Why can we not have unbiased opinion that's not a headline saying, oh, false claims by Trump, rather than claims by Trump that, I mean, when you add the disclaimer on the front there, the modifier, Trump says this falsely instead of Trump said this. Do you believe it? I mean,
well, and see, and they give their newscasters the script. So they're just reading off the teleprompter, and whether they agree with it or not,
they're robots.
They have to read the fucking news. You know what I mean? And if they don't read it right, then guess what?
They're fired, or they're fined, or they're why did you take a sabbatical?
Or or they're sent on vacation. You know what I mean?
Take a little vacation. Yeah.
And I hate that about it. But that's what we have to deal with. But the thing is what I'm saying though too is don't put those blinders on.
Right.
Don't believe all that. Dig deeper.
Yeah.
Your local morning news team are reading off a script.
Yep.
And guess who that script is written by?
No, the national people who are sending it to every Fox station, every ABC station, local news station around, or CBS, whatever.
Yeah. We've seen the montages, right?
Yeah.
Like during COVID,
word for word.
Yes.
All across the country.
There's like like what was it, 25 or 27 different news stations. They all the newscasters were saying the exact same thing.
Word for word. They synced it up. Yeah.
Right? No, they're given scripts. They're told what to say and when to say it. And they're reading off a prompter. Don't be fooled that these are real reporters. There are a few, that they send out with their teams and stuff like that that go and check out local stories, right?
Yeah.
But they're not going out and digging deep on national stories, and they're not going to bring you that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why you have to look at both sides and get the news from Fox, get the news from CNN. Now you have kind of both sides of the issue. If there's agreement on both sides, maybe there's something there. But if there's disagreement on both sides, maybe the shit is somewhere in the middle, And I'm just doing a Tim Walls. Thank you for letting me be here. So you have to kind of pay attention to all this shit. So you just so here's more where they try to debunk it. This is what we're talking about. You got to look at the different news stories out here. So debunked faked video. So it's debunked fake video. Does that mean it's a real video?
Wait a minute.
Hold on. This is
I don't know. Wait. Debunked fake video. So do you mean that's true? Right. Yeah, it's true, right?
Right. Are we misinterpreting the debunked fakeness of the reality of the falsehood? I mean, wondering. I mean, maybe I'm reading it wrong. I don't know. If you see this as a different headline, comment below and let us know what the hell this actually means. Because we're open for interpretation here. So, all right, let's check this little video out and see what they're talking about.
Let's go on the scene right now to Pennsylvania. There is video of a destroyed mailbox, destroyed mail ballots. The image is now going viral. Our disinformation desk correspondent Liz Landers joins us now.
Disinformation desk.
What is the fake video purporting to show?
This is a key swing county in a key swing state, Dell, that had to put out a statement yesterday calling this video disinformation. The video, which has been debunked by officials and experts, shows the alleged destruction of mail-in ballots cast for the former president, and this is being done by election workers in that county. It includes expletives when discussing the former president, and the narrator says at one point, "Vote Harris." Bucks County Board of Elections, that's this county, put out a statement Thursday evening calling it a fake and added that the video has been reported to local and state law enforcement agencies as well as the FBI. The board said in a statement, quote, "This type of behavior is meant to sow division and distrust in our election systems and makes a mockery of the people working incredibly hard to ensure a free and fair election is carried out." Now, Pennsylvania Secretary of State Al Schmidt told me that the video was a, quote, "conspicuous fake." He pointed out that there are no envelopes are sealed, no return addresses on envelopes in that video, and even mail ballots cast at election offices are sealed. So he's kind of explaining why it's fake. Though he didn't know the source of the video, he said to me, "Anyone who works in elections every day can spot a fake a mile away." Scripps News spoke with Schmidt back in September when he was in Washington, and he said that his office had their eyes peeled for disinformation narratives on social media and that they would be combating that with press releases, interviews, and would be closely monitoring what's posted online. Now, Del, I want to be clear. We don't know the origin of this video, though the intelligence community told us just earlier this week that they expect an uptick in foreign malign actors attempting to influence the U.S. elections. We've talked about this before. Russia, China, and Iran all have been using disinformation and propaganda campaigns to sow division and unrest and undermine Americans' confidence in the democratic process and in our system.
Dude, that's horse shit. I think that's a my thing is this is super weird because they're talking about debunking a fake that was debunked as a fake. I don't know. It's weird. However, it seems like they're trying to get on top of it.
Yeah.
to disprove what is already going on. You know what I mean? It's almost like you said, it's the DEXTER effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's we're here, we know what's going on, but we have to say that it's not going on because we have to hide what's going on.
To cover everyone's
we're
ass.
getting paid to hide what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, so basically what we're kind of trying to point out here is there's a lot of weird shit that's been going on for a while, and people kind of need to understand what is happening, that this has been going on for a while, and if you don't think it's been going on, then you're not really seeing what's happening. So let's get back over to this other one here real quick. But yeah, I mean, there's been reports of postal workers dumping, those white bins of mail that they get, and you don't know what's in it. What's in it? Your social security check? What is in there? What
Is it
else?
your ballot? Is it your
ballot?
signature? Who knows?
Oh, exactly. So you kind of have to wonder what's going on. So whether they're dumping ballots, whether they're dumping your checks, whether they're dumping your bills that you're supposed to pay. Oh, I didn't get my bill from you. It doesn't matter, sir. We're going to shut your power off because you haven't paid your bill. Stuff like that. So it's like, okay. So this is just going to kind of show what's happening. And this was done 6 years ago. If you don't think this is still going on today, you're crazy, man. You're
crazy, man.
You're crazy.
On camera dumping mail. Look at these images showing a mailman throwing mail into a popular dump site. 41 Action News reporter Charlie Keegan went to that site at 45th and Garfield and met with the man in charge of investigating dumping crimes.
Mail right there. Why?
Let me give you a look here.
Why would they be dumping mail? They just don't want to deliver it?
He said, "Fuck this job."
What he said?
Or did his supervisor?
Let's see. How far back was that? Just a second ago? Let's see if they hear it again.
In charge of investigating dumping crimes.
Fuck this job. Let me give you a look here around 45th and
it was in the background. Fuck this job. Well, there you go. That's what happened to your ballots and your checks and your bills and everything else, your letters from grandma. Fuck this job. Fuck this job. I don't think they meant to have that audio on there at all.
It's weird. She said that this is a popular dumping site. I mean, for what?
Apparently the USPS guys, among others. Yeah, let's just throw this shit up. Fuck this job.
Fuck this job.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I don't live in that.
It's insane. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay.
But this is what's going on, gang. You know.
Oh my god. It's just
disgruntled mail workers.
Oh, these poor guys. I mean, they just don't get paid enough to do this job. Fuck this job.
I see. Why you get this next one queued up? I saw a guy. So in my neighborhood that I live in right now, we have mailboxes, like, just on, in the parking,
right?
And the mail trucks come and they, you put your mail in. In the neighborhood that's just adjacent to us to the east, I used to live in that neighborhood. This is the neighborhood I grew up in. That it's like the north side of Rose Park, and they have mailboxes on the. Why am I getting balloons? Oh,
that's weird. I know. I was saying, who's doing that?
Badass.
Yeah.
But they have mailboxes on the houses, right? Yeah. So the mailmen, they park down the street, a couple blocks away or whatever. They put their bag on and they walk it up to your doorstep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw the mailman in that neighborhood the other day because my girls go to school on that side,
right?
And I was coming back from a drop off, and I saw the mailman. He was walking, and he had a smile on his face, and it's a quiet neighborhood. There's a lot of old people there.
Right.
You know, a lot of retirees and stuff like that. And he just looked like he was living the dream, bro. He
Right.
wasn't like, fuck this job. He's he's just living the dream. He's walking every day.
Right.
And
Right.
he had shorts on. This was earlier in the morning too, and it's getting chilly here now in the morning.
Oh yeah.
But it's early in the morning. He had like a hoodie on, his USPS hoodie.
Yeah.
And but he's in shorts because he knows he's gonna have to peel that hoodie off in a couple hours, right? Walking around this neighborhood. But that was one of the most pure and wholesome things that I've seen in a long time. That restored my faith in humanity for the day.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Awesome. I love it. No. Yeah, but fuck this job though. You know, fuck this job. Anyway, so there's just more and more stories. I mean, you've got good guys like that, hopefully, that are just like, whatever, man. I just deliver the mail, I do my thing. And then you got others where something weird's going on. Police are investigating primary election misconduct. A woman stuffed ballot boxes. We've seen this video. This happened.
This was last.
It says updated. So it was before that. 2020. This has got to be in 2020.
It says updated 2023, but this happened in 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if we have a little of this we can show and see what it does, if anything here. Maybe.
Election fraud through ballot tampering during the Democratic primary for mayor in Bridgeport that could be discussed later this morning. The State Elections Enforcement Commission will meet later today, and Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler joins us now live from Bridgeport to tell us what could happen next. Good morning, Olivia.
Roger, good morning. It is a sticky situation right now on the meeting's agenda. It does not include talking about the Democratic primary, although if it's not discussed today, then it will be pushed back to the next meeting, which is in October. Now, John Gomes, the Democratic challenger, says he filed a number of complaints with the State Elections Enforcement Commission. John Gomes's campaign is also filing a lawsuit to have a judge put a stop to election votes being certified. The candidate for mayor says he wants a new Democratic primary. This comes after surveillance video from outside Bridgeport's government center shows a woman seemingly stuffing envelopes into an absentee ballot drop box. After last week's election, Mayor Joe Ganim beat Gomes by a slight 251 vote margin. Governor Lamont is now stepping in, saying the video is disturbing.
I really want to thoroughly investigate this. The integrity of our electoral system is so important.
Of course it is, unless it's against your people, then you're all up in arms about it. If it's against the opponent, this wouldn't even been a news story.
Yeah, that's the thing. I thoroughly want to investigate this. Did you investigate it? Right. And what was the outcome?
Yeah, exactly. Because
don't just tell me. It's just like Kamala. Like she says she wants to do all these things, but there's no action. There's no action behind the words. And you can word salad me all day, but if I see no action, and I've seen no action in 3.5 years.
Yeah. This will be our next video. We're going to talk about the CNN town hall and how she never answered a question. And even Anderson Cooper was getting a little miffed. To say it nicely, So So our voting is our elections are very important, and I think that it happens on both sides. When it happens to them, they got all up in arms. When it happens to the other side, they don't. But then our guys should, and they, and it's just okay. So here's a montage. When I just looked up, people caught stuffing ballots in ballot boxes. Okay. So here's the video of us. I'll enlarge it just a little more so you can see it. So all these videos, women allegedly seen stuffing ballots. Wow. There's the lady. Ballot stuffing. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So if there weren't this many videos, would you just say, yeah, I think nothing going on? No, there's something going on that needs to be looked into, no matter which side you're on. I mean, it's just It's just insanity, dude.
Like I said, how far technology has come, and we're still getting nefarious happenings happening.
Yeah.
At vote season. Are you really?
I know.
And I mean, this has been going on for years and years and years and years, and I just don't understand why there hasn't been a system that works and a system that's that's checked. And I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, even these agencies, and I'll have all these links provided for you on the description. But vulnerabilities affecting Dominion voting systems, Image Cast X, affected products. It goes through all of that. Vulnerability overview. I mean, and you can just read. So they know there's problems. They're documenting these problems.
Yes, definitely.
And so it's like, okay, what really is going on? And can we not at least admit, both sides, can we not at least admit that there's some shit going on here that we need to fix?
Right.
Look at this. 4 election vulnerabilities uncovered by a Michigan engineer. Generating a paper voting record. It goes in there, it goes in Georgia, talks about Michigan, talks about all the, 21 states. That's a lot. That's near half.
That's it's more than a third, for Christ's sake.
Oh yeah. I mean, and if you don't think something's weird is going on, good Lord, what is wrong with you? Because
dude, I can't wait until Trump gets in, because he's going to put Elon on this, and Elon's going to have it figured out in a fucking week.
Yeah. Yeah. This is PBS. Remember PBS? It's kind of like NPR. It's there's funded by the government, and they donate back to the Democrat Party, just like Planned Parenthood does. Voting expert
breaches.
Yeah, software breaches. It's not software breaches. Software breaches. Just in case you're, no pants allowed. But they talk about it. I mean, I'll leave all these links so you can read it. We don't need to go through it all here, but there's headlines even from PBS News saying there's serious threats for the 2024 election. Okay, nothing. No, it's the most secure election ever.
Well, like we were saying before too, and then there's states that are already coming out and saying, "Hey, well, our votes aren't going to be counted until the 5th. We're not going to have our
bullshit. It should be counted that same night. They should be able to do it."
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's another one. It's just to show you. CBS News again. U.S. finds no evidence flaws in Dominion voting machines. Okay, who are you going to believe? PBS says yes, there is. This CBS now says no, there's not. There's nothing's wrong. You guys.
But then the people on the ground are like, yes, there is.
Right.
This is fucked up.
Oh yeah.
So who are you going to believe?
I know. It's crazy. All we're saying is just question what is going on. If you see dissenting opinions, if you see differentiating opinions, please look into it a little bit more, dig deeper, go beyond the mainstream media, look at what's happening out there.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing too, is go with your gut.
Yeah.
I say go with your gut.
Yeah.
People as individuals are not dumb.
No.
I don't want to call anybody dumb. I don't want to call anybody stupid. I don't want to call anybody,
even if they are, we're not going to call you that.
Yeah, uneducated. But I heard a good word the other day on the Two Mics Live, or I think it was just Dr. Mike. By the way, Two Mics Live, catch it on Rumble. Great show. Dr. Mike Schwartz, he's a fantastic guy. Has a really, really, really good informative show every morning. It's 8:00 our time. You guys can figure out wherever you're at. But a word they used was unengaged. Like I said, I don't want to say stupid. I don't want to say dumb. I don't want to say sheep. I mean, I've said sheep a lot because I think a lot of people are sheep. However, an individual is not stupid. They're not dumb. They know what they know what they're passionate about. They know what concerns them. They know what they want the government to do and the government not to do for them, right?
Most should be
and
not to do. Just leave me the hell alone.
exactly.
Just saying.
But when I need to be cared for, care for me. Take care of me. And
or give me the ability to be taken care of. One of the two, yeah.
But I think when people get into groups, that's when I can say the group mind is fucking stupid. The group mind is sheep.
Yeah.
The group mind is uninformed, they're unengaged, and they are fueled on propaganda.
Yep.
That is why the other side's campaign, the blue side's campaign, is so effective, because they get people in groups, they get individuals in groups that are uninformed, unengaged.
They call them useful idiots usually as well.
Exactly. And they get him in, and that's when they become sheep.
Yeah. 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 And that's exactly right. They're counting on that. And you know, when you own or control the government, the government media and everything else, that's what people are seeing. CNN, MSNBC, ABC. So they see it on all these outlets.
Yeah, you shove that down their throats, and that's all they're going to believe.
Yeah. So get it out of there and stop looking at the same people that are paid by the same people. You know, when you see the same narrative, it's like, oh, what was the latest? Unchecked power. That's the latest buzz term. And it's so funny. It's like listening to Kamala say all this stuff. It's like she just opened her word of the day dictionary and uses the same word in every sentence she uses.
Right, dude.
Every day. And now it's unchecked power.
Well, now it's unchecked power, and it's Hitler.
Yeah,
she
but
opened
that's
up
across the board. Obama's saying it.
Yeah. Before it was weird. No, they're so weird. What are they so weird? What are they doing? It's so weird. They're weird, right?
Right? And has the balls to say that after he's been pointed out and shown to be the weirdest one. He goes, hey, oh.
After this fucking guy wanted to put tampons in boys' bathrooms.
Right.
And then he's calling us weird.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a peach. So I think that's it for today, folks, on this. I think this kind of gives you an idea that at least, if nothing else, you can question what is being said and done about the possible election and the vote changes possibly from these machines. I mean, there's people complaining about it. We had a ton, there's just so many videos. We've already gone, almost 2 hours here. Just question what's going on. Look at what's happening, and please, for the love of God, don't vote for who you want. But if you're voting for Kamala because she's just a woman and she's a woman of color and she's a Democrat, you're not informed.
Yeah, like double check yourself.
You're a sheep.
Yeah, because those are surface.
Yeah.
Like very surface things. Those are character.
That should not be a reason to vote for her.
Yeah, those aren't policy things. Those aren't real deep issue things. Look at what she's done. Do you think she can do? Do you think she can be better than Biden? I mean, she backed him for the last 3.5 years. She was the last person in the room.
And now she's
on all of his decisions that has fucked this country up for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And you're going to say that she's your vote?
Yeah.
I had a friend that I'm really close with, and she said, I'm voting with my uterus this season.
That seems pretty hard. How do you get that up on the machine? And I mean, good for her. She must be very, flexible. Nimble.
It kills me, man. She's been a D from the get, And I love her to death. Not gonna, ruin their friendship over it. But at the same
Yeah, yeah.
time, I don't agree with your politics. That is it's uninformed, and it is sheepish, and it is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you're putting that propaganda out there in the world, and people are going to see that, and that's not, I don't know, that's not an issue to hang your hat on, if you ask me.
Yeah, and it'd be hard to hang it on the uterus, first of all. But I mean, if you're voting with your uterus, really, is your uterus going to be okay when the next illegal who's been in prison in Venezuela and their gang members come and try to get into your uterus and take advantage of shit because the border was left open?
Yeah, still your uterus. Just take
Yeah.
it out of you while you're still alive. Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is who you're voting for, is somebody who's left the border wide open, who's now put these people in these communities all across the U.S. I mean, they've literally shipped them there, busted them there, flown them there.
Yeah.
Because of Kamala's uterus policies. So know what's going on. She's going to raise your taxes. She wants to raise taxes. She wants to take more money out of everybody. Oh, nobody under 400,000. Bullshit. It affects everybody. You think the people who are taxed the 400,000 plus, that's not going to come back to you in one form or another?
Exactly. I mean, the people that are 400 plus, those are the people who run most of the successful businesses in our communities.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? She's going to raise their taxes.
Right.
So they're going to raise their prices.
Right.
And then we're going to have to pay more at the counter.
Your iPhone is going to cost you more. Your TV is going to cost you more. Your cheeseburger is going to cost you more.
Your internet's going to cost you more.
Your insurance rates are going to cost you more, your car insurance, because you have people who are coming here getting driver's license illegally who don't know how to drive here.
Well, and here's another thing too.
And crashing everywhere.
She was she was against fracking. Don't frack. We're not fracking.
All of a sudden she's pandering.
Now she's for fracking. But
weird. But she'll be against it once she gets into office again.
Right. But what does fracking do? Fracking would bring down our fuel prices,
which would bring down the cost of everything because shipping would be cheaper.
But they're just going to bleed out the nose to buy it from overseas
or
enemies.
Iran,
enemies.
Venezuela,
and then we're just going to give them more money for their stupid fucking wars, plus the money that we're giving them on top for their fucking oil. Are you kidding me?
But we can't
there's perfectly good deposits here. We can keep it in the country.
We have more oil deposits here than pretty much anywhere else in the world because the vastness of our country. First of all, Alaska for one thing, the Gulf of Mexico for another, Texas, all over North Dakota, blah blah. You name it. There's oil deposits everywhere in this country.
It's insane.
And we want to go to pay Venezuela so they can, oppress their people even more. Maduro, you piece of shit, and Putin and everybody else. Come on, think about what you're voting for. Oh, I'm going to vote with my uterus. Wow. You have just lost all credibility that there could possibly be in a person.
And that was sad, you know what I mean? And
you might want to rethink this friendship. Just kidding. That's funny though.
This has been a lifelong friendship, but at the same time, we have never agreed on issues on politics. No.
And yet you're still friends. Isn't that weird how that works?
Odd. Yeah, odd. Oh. But at the same time, when the shit hits the fan, we're going to be in two different places. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who's going to be running to whom for help?
Yeah, and that's sad because you voted for this, you pined for this fucking dumb bullshit.
Yeah.
And and
because of a uterus.
Yeah, right. And I used to be that way because I was of the hippie sort. let me do what I'm doing. Don't touch me. Don't fool with this and don't do with that. But then we get into real life.
Yeah.
And we have jobs, we have vehicles, we have mortgages, we have children, and we want our government to do better for us than or for our children than they did for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's really when my mindset changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the D is very selfish, and I was very selfish before I had kids.
Yeah. That's why they don't want you to have kids, so you can be selfish.
Yeah.
If I had kids, I wouldn't be able to go to Mazatlan and shit all the time.
Well, if prisoners can have sex changes, then there's not going to be any more kids, right?
Yeah. It's just the mentality of what they prioritize, like abortion. We won't get into that right now, but you just have to wonder because that's what Kamala is running on. This is what your uterus is running on, lady.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have children. Kamala did not have children, as far as I remember, as far as I know.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. You know,
right?
Was it Bear or was it
Cooper? I don't
know. That said she's like, well, you know.
Oh yeah, and the hardest part is raising children.
Yeah, the hardest part about raising children, and then they fire back. It's like, well, you don't have children,
right? Right.
It's like, bitch,
you
don't know
teenagers.
You don't know what it's like to have fucking children. Come on.
Yeah, but she wants bodily autonomy. Did you allow us bodily autonomy when it came to getting the jab? By the way,
right.
You know, and one last thing about the abortion thing with Kamala is, and this is why you don't want to vote with your uterus, is and why they're trying to cheat.
She's gonna be so pissed when she sees this, bro.
Does she watch this?
I pushed her towards this.
Sweet.
And I was like, hey, check out, like, because
I don't know who she is. She's probably a nice person, but she really needs to reevaluate.
She's a very nice person, but at the same time, like, I told her, I was like, hey, I'm doing a few casts. Check us out here and there. And I was like, hey, check out the Rude Barn. We're doing some good stuff over there. My buddy's doing some great editing.
Will she make it to the 2-hour mark? We're almost at.
I don't know. She may or may not. It depends on what she's doing. I don't know. But
she may not make it all the way to here.
I just tell her, I was like, this one is gold. You gotta listen to this one. Listen to it all the way.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
Matt Walsh made a good point that I didn't even think about when he was talking about the whole abortion issue, because that's what they're really pushing. Like, this is the most important issue of why you need to vote for me is bodily autonomy and women being able to choose what happens to their bodies. Like you can't already, first of all. But he's saying it really is discriminatory because you're basically, what you're saying is you're giving a woman a right to terminate a pregnancy, to kill a baby that's growing inside their body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you want to do that and you want to live with your own God and meet your maker and explain why that's something you did, that's between you and your God. Okay.
Yeah, you and God. Yeah.
But when I have to pay for it on my taxpayer dollars, that's where I have an issue with it. But
exactly.
But beyond that is they always say, well, men don't give birth, therefore they don't have a say-so in whether, okay, well, hold on a minute. Isn't half a baby, half a DNA from me or you?
Yeah.
Okay. Our daughters.
That's my argument too. That's my huge argument in this.
Our daughters look exactly like, okay, each of our girls have a different dad. Okay. They look like their dads. They're spitting images of their dads. You can't tell me that half that DNA is from my wife prior to when we were married, of course, and the other from the respective father.
Right.
So why is it that we as men don't have a say in your bodily autonomy when it comes to a child that we've created that you want to terminate without any decision, discussion, or anything from me?
Right. Because if it's your decision that you don't want to take care of this child, okay, that's fine.
Give me a shot at it.
Does not the other half of making that child get a say?
Right.
Why doesn't the father
you don't have to carry the baby, therefore Like, oh my
That's
God.
bullshit.
It's
You know what I
bullshit.
mean? Because carrying a baby is one thing, but caring for a woman who is carrying a baby is another thing.
Yeah.
Like like folks out there, if you've never been privy to taking care of a pregnant woman, shut the fuck up, because you
Yeah.
don't know what you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the endless hours. You don't know the constant mood swings.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't been there, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right. And that pretty much would nix out half of those people that are fucking that are hoo-hooing in it. You know what I mean? And my thing is though too is you know, I get the rape and incest stuff.
Oh yeah. And health of the baby, health of the mother. We get it. We get it.
Right.
Totally.
Right. That is completely on you. That is the, you know what I mean? That's your choice.
Right.
That's, you know, you have to take care of you. However, the ones, and this is the, I think, I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but at the same time, I think the majority of those, you know, of the people that want to, you know, do abortions and all that, it was a one night stand, or it was, you know, they weren't married, they weren't prepared, they're young kids, and they want to, you know, it was a mistake.
But can't you figure that out within the time period of finding out that you just got pregnant and not wait 6-8 months or whatever?
Right. And my thing is, you know what? You knew the consequences when you laid down.
Yep.
You knew this could be a thing. So if you didn't take precautionary measures then,
which don't always work either,
right? Then you fit the bill.
Right.
You can do whatever you want with it. I not my business.
Right.
But I don't want to fucking pay for it. And I shouldn't have to pay for it. Your fucking mistake.
Right.
Right.
And that's the thing that pisses me off about this whole abortion issue is the Republicans are so freaking stupid. They cannot argue this fact that it's not about your ability to have an abortion. Nobody's saying you can't have an abortion.
Right.
You can get an abortion. There's no abortion ban. That's not the issue.
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
Illegal.
You can get it. Exactly. It's me paying for it with my taxpayer dollars and everybody else paying for your mistake with our taxpayer dollars.
You should pay for your own fucking mistake. It's not my responsibility to pay for your mistake.
And it's interesting that a woman who never had children, you know, and I never had children either. So I'm in that category you mentioned where I need to shut the fuck up to a degree. I do have an opinion on it, and I can have an opinion on it. I can have an opinion on, oh, how wonderful a Ferrari is and not own one. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, exactly.
So when it comes to this whole thing, in your listening, your uterus, your vote with your uterus for somebody who has a uterus, or at least had one, at least as far as I know, probably still has one, didn't have children, has no emotional attachment to carrying a child that was developing from a nubbin into a full-grown 6-8 pound baby and has no emotional attachment. So of course she's all for abortion.
Oh, exactly. You hit the nail on the head, bro. This woman has never had children, never wanted children, never even thought of having children. No, they're going to be
many abortions herself, probably.
Yeah, they're going to be a burden on my life. I don't want this. I'm me. I'm doing me. I don't need to have kids. And her stance was to, you know, is like, I don't need to prove myself as a woman by having children. That doesn't define me as a woman of having children. Okay, great. I'm all for it. Yeah, no, yeah. Don't.
If you can live with that and sleep at night, More power to you.
Well, and that's the whole thing. It's like I'm of the opinion too. Is like women don't need to be baby factories.
No.
And I know plenty of women who are even my age now who have never had children.
That's pretty old.
But if you've never had children, by the time you're 45, shut the fuck up on the issue, because you don't know shit, and you don't know about being up 6 times in the night. You don't know about feeding them. You don't know about colicky ones. You don't know fucking shit about it. So don't speak
they're
on
sick and they're throwing up and they're all these things. Yeah. Now, granted,
they're worse than dogs.
My wife and I, right. Don't let the
They're
girls
worse.
hear this part. Girls, pause, earmuffs. Anyway.
I love my girls, and I would.
I know. It's called a joke. It's okay.
The folks out there
They're harder. It's harder than animals. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the folks that out there that don't know, like I have my girls, and I have 2 girls, and they're like 3.5 years apart, but they're at the age now where they are self-sufficient. Like I've got them this far. I've got them far enough to where they can feed themselves. And I'm proud of myself for that. But like for the last 12 years, I've had to keep them alive.
Right. Yeah.
And just that statement alone of keeping somebody else alive
really puts
making
it in
sure they don't die, whether they're like whether they're eating, because my youngest one, she chokes on air, man. Like, like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? She's ridiculous, dude. And she's got the worst immune system known to man, and so
because you vaccinated her when she was younger. I'm guessing.
Yeah, and after
calm down, anti-vax people that are pissed off. I just said something like that.
After the first one, I was like, I told my ex-wife, I said, no more. We're not doing it anymore. Fuck this shit. We are not doing it anymore.
I can't remember if I had this. It's somewhere, but I found a chart or a video where this gal talked about how kids who are vaccinated younger and those who weren't, when they grew up, the ones who got vaccinated or something, and I got vaccinated. I got polio, all that shit growing up.
I did too when I was younger.
But it's showing the charts because I don't know what else they're doing and the new vaccinations coming out that aren't really helping or whatever, that the kids who got vaccinated were sicker more often than the ones who weren't. And their chart was like that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Very interesting.
I just heard a story. Yeah, I just heard a story on that just like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
exactly.
It's the truth. And whatever they're putting in these new vaccines too, like I don't want to blame vaccines on the autism, but they're showing that
correlation.
Like the research is showing that it's a contributor, right? And my oldest she's on the spectrum. My youngest, she's on the spectrum a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to blame just their personalities and what they do just on the spectrum, because I'm not about that.
Yeah.
Like they're kids,
right?
But my oldest, she's when you talk to her, but she's very high functioning. She's very artistic and she's very creative, and which. Thank God for the spectrum for that, because she might be, an
accountant someday.
The second in my business. She might take over boss graphic at some time.
There you go. Yeah.
But the thing is though too is kids change people, and
absolutely.
You don't know in what ways that they are going to change you until you have them. And I'm not just saying like like us with the traditional, just like have kids and married and blah 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 in the house. You can get step kids, you can get, you can adopt kids and whatever. And but until they're in your household, until they are a part of your life, you don't know how that changes you.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, it changes you for the better. And what pisses me off about, about her stance on you can do whatever you want to do with your body and blah, 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 blah. And you don't have to, there's no checks and balances and blah, 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 blah. Well, that's coming from somebody who's not cared for a child, not kept
Right.
somebody else alive.
No emotional attachment, no physical attachment, no
Right.
anything. Yeah.
Right. And the hugs that you get from your kids, dude, isn't that second to none? Like you can't replace that with anything.
Well, even with my girls, my girls' stepdaughters, and all that, they're considered my girls.
Right. They're your girls.
And I've helped raise them since they were 10 and 12. And although I didn't go through the colicky, the baby, all the toddler stuff, all the little kid stuff, which my wife says I missed. Like, I know.
Like,
it is what it is, but
yeah, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah. We had tough times through teenage years, button heads and things like that. But right
Dude.
now, our relationships are unreal. It's like, I love you and hugs and everything. And, it's awesome.
It's the best, right?
Yeah. And there were times when there was a J-Lo movie out where she was a single mom and she talked about getting an abortion or something because she made a mistake and all this shit. We leave the movie theater, the girls are in the back of the car talking about that and saying, oh yeah, if I accidentally ever got pregnant, I would have the abortion and all this shit. I'm like, well, okay, hold on. I didn't say anything. I'm just like,
wheels are spinning.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, well, hold on a sec. Because the older one, especially, was kind of an accident with her first, it wasn't even her first husband. It was with a guy she never married.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if your mom decided to do the abortion, you wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't be here. Yeah.
So don't flippantly just say, oh, I would have that abortion because I made a mistake, because you wouldn't be here if your mom made that decision. And your mom does not regret that decision.
Huge. That is fucking huge. Did you have that conversation with her?
No. If she ever watches this, which I don't know, maybe, because we kind of differ politically, and but that's okay. We would still love each other.
How old is she now?
25.
Oh God. You've been in the trenches, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't.
Rough years.
Dude, yeah, those were the rough. Dude, I haven't even come up on the rough years. Like I mean, the years that we've had were rough. Now I think I'm going through that lull, like the calm before the storm. I'm the calm before the storm, where they love me and I love them, and we have good times, and we can still do that. But like in a couple of years, they're gonna fucking hate me.
Oh yeah, they're going to be all about boyfriends, boys, and something. And he didn't like my post, and am I devastated? I'm going to kill myself. And it's like, oh my God, calm the fuck down. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
It's not the end of the
Just
world.
be there for them, because they're coming back around. Because my whole thing as a stepdad, which yes, is probably one of the hardest jobs.
But you know that's a choice you made, though. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Because and that's a thing that you took on, and you could have been like,
oh, you have two girls, 10 and 12.
Nah, I don't want to take on that responsibility. But that's huge, bro. Like, and to be in the trenches for what now? You're in 13 years or so.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
dude.
And it's amazing right now. I mean, I couldn't ask for more beautiful girls, smart, awesome. Got their shit together. I mean, it's just
are you getting to the friend stage with your daughters now? because you have
where
the
we can kind of talk about normal stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like it's like
Yeah.
kind of being on the level, like you know.
yeah. I mean, they're both kind of out of the house and not around a ton, so we don't really get to talk a lot. But when they were here, our oldest with her boyfriend, they were stayed here for a while now. They're living out of state for right now. They'll be back in January. We're going to visit them in December, but yeah, we had some conversations, not real in-depth stuff, but we would talk about things. When things pop up, we kind of talk about it. I tried not to talk politics too much just because I think it's going to take them a little while to realize
they got to live in the world and get beat up by the
right.
world a little bit before they formulate an actual solid knowing of politics.
Yeah, I mean, and one of them gets still a little upset when people have opposite opinions about politicians than she does, and that's fine. But I try to tell her, it's not nothing to get upset about. It's what it is. Thank God we have differing opinions. Thank God we all don't like the same thing. Thank God we all don't like the same music. I mean, how boring would the world be if we all like the same thing and we're in lockstep with each other on everything that we did? I mean, it's like there's a reason that we all don't agree, and it's okay. Just don't take it personally and don't hate a person or shun them out of your life because of it. Because my wife and I don't always agree on everything either, and she tends to be more this way. I tend to be more this way, but I still love her to death, and I do anything for her. I take a bullet for her and all that shit.
Right.
Gladly.
Right. And
and her aunt's the same way. And her aunt likes me now and knows that I completely disagree with her side of the political spectrum. And I'm like, see, isn't it nice that we can disagree, but still love each other as family? Isn't that great?
Yeah. Still love each other. Still be family.
Yeah.
Still
just be civil. Let's be civil. It's okay.
Still break bread together. Yeah.
Right. All right, I guess we better wrap this segment up. We've gone a little bit longer than we thought we would, but some deep shit today we talked about even beforehand. We probably should have recorded for an episode just for fun anyway, but that's okay.
It's good. We can cut and clip and wherever we want, brother.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's end this one. And we appreciate everybody checking out. Just like we said, just don't use your penis, your uterus, your anything as a reason to vote for somebody. Please do, if you vote,
1000%.
If you vote for Kamala, that's fine. If you vote for Trump, great. Just know that the issues you're voting for are what you're going to get. Are you getting a lie? Campaign promises that are going to be broken. I've seen the track record from Trump, and I've seen the track record from Kamala, and I just prefer Trump, because I think his track record is a million times better. She has no policies that I can see that I want to ever see. And I think she's pandering to everybody to try to get the votes. Nobody liked her before. I don't know why all of a sudden everybody loves her and thinks that she walks on water, because she certainly doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't. And if you think you've gotten to know her over this campaign
Last
season,
2 months,
you haven't. You don't know her. If you really want to get to know her, look back into her past.
Yeah.
Look back at what she did in California. Look back before that even, and then gauge your opinion. And if you still want to vote for her, then great. It's fine.
There you go. Go for it.
Make your choice. But I would usher you to actually look into who you're voting for. And our overall theme always is question everything.
Question everything.
We're not saying we're right. We're not saying we're the end all be all. These
are our opinions.
Yes. And but we say question everything. Be smart. Do a deep dive.
Get a little informed, at least. That's all.
And if you have opposing opinions, put them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to chat with you.
Subscribe, share. We try to grow this channel so we can do more of this more often. and all that. And we appreciate it. And check out the Rude Barn store, therudebarn.etsy.com. Check out the Bearded Viking at beardedviking.com. And have a good one, guys. And geez, we got an election coming up. Just know who you're voting for. That's all. And
Make
know
a
that there's
smart
some weird shit
informed
going on out there. Yeah. These voting machines are certainly vulnerable. So just be careful. Whichever way you go, it shouldn't happen either way. Whoever you vote for, it shouldn't turn to the other person, no matter who it is. So,
Double
all right, gang,
check
have a good one. Now we'll chit chat with you on the next one. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening, guys. Question everything.
See ya.